Okay, now after completing rounds 28 through 39, I want to show you my bag. I have 3 big stripes. Now we are going to work a row that's going to discontinue the cabling right up here. And I'm going to go ahead and explain what I'm going to do before I do it. We are going to be maintaining the double stitch, which is a single crochet and the double crochet and the double crochet and the single crochet. We're going to continue to alter that as we go across these 3 stitches. We are going to skip all the half double crochets. So once we crochet through this section here, we're going to have only 12 stitches instead of 15. That's going to close up the cabling, which is what we want it to do, just a little bit. And it will maintain our single crochet, double crochet, single crochet, double crochet pattern. It will not disrupt that at all. So I'm going to go ahead and start that, and I will show you how to do this once I get to the cabling portion. The beginning of this round will start the same by just chain 1 and then single crochet, double crochet, alternating. So I'm going to go ahead and do that until I get to the cabling portions. Now that we've come to the cabling portion, we're just going to work a single crochet working through the top loops, and then a double crochet, a single crochet. Now we're going to skip the half double and we'll make our double crochet in the next stitch. A single crochet, double crochet. We're going to skip this half double crochet, and it's time for a single crochet, double crochet, single crochet. I'm going to skip this stitch, the half double, and then go double crochet, single crochet, double crochet, and we have finished going across the cable. And now we just pick up. The next stitch is going to be single crochet, so that works out perfectly with maintaining that double stitch. And this is what it should look as you crochet across the top of that. Okay, so let's go ahead and finish the round, and we'll join with a slip stitch at the end of the round. Okay, now we're going to be crocheting the round that adds the holes, or the buttonholes, or the openings that our backpack straps are going to be worked through. Now try to follow what I do with this, because I'm going to vary the number of stitches in between the buttonholes, and one reason is that we have decreased the number of stitches on the side that has the cable, whereas the side on the other side kind of remains the same. So we need to kind of distribute these holes somewhat evenly, and when the number does vary, that's why I'm doing that. Okay, so first of all, we're going to continue on with the double stitch all the way around, but we're going to do 5 stitches to begin with. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And just again, just to repeat myself once more, make sure that you're working the tall stitch on top of the short stitch and the short stitch on top of the tall stitch as you alternate. After you do the first 5 stitches, you're going to chain 2. We're going to skip 2 stitches and then continue the double stitch for 8 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. If you want to stop to verify the stitches, that's always a good thing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We're going to chain 2, skip 2 more stitches, and we're going to do that again. We're going to crochet into the next 8 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oops, let's get all the strands there. I am going kind of fast on this. You already know what the stitches are, but I just don't want to drag this out too long. Let's verify 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We're going to chain 2 again, and we're going to skip 2 stitches. And this is the third set of stitches here. It's going to be 8 more. 1, oops, let's go ahead and do a double crochet there. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Okay, chain 2, skip 2. Now we're going to crochet 9 stitches. 1, 2, this is along the side, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Let's take a pause and let's see what we've done so far. Okay, this is the bag. And so the openings are 1, 2, 3, 4 on this side. And so what we're going to do is we're going to try to crochet 4 openings on the opposite side. Okay, so after you've done, let's see, how many have we done? Have we done 9? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, now it's time to do another opening, chain 2, skip 2, and then resume for the next 9 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'm going to chain 2, skip 2, and now we're going to do 8 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now we're going to chain 2, skip 2, and we should be close to done here. This should be the last, let's see, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now we should have, after we do this next opening or buttonhole, chain 2, skip 2, we should have 1, 2, 3, 4 stitches left. Yay, so that worked out. So skip 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, and we're going to join now with a slip stitch to the top of that first double crochet of the round. Okay, so let's go ahead and look and see where these buttonholes are. The goal was to get them kind of lined up evenly on each side. It was impossible to have them lined up evenly mathematically, but I think that is actually pretty good. So it's evenly and it's symmetrical up here around the cable, and as long as you have 4 on each side, you should have a total of 8 holes, and that way the straps can be woven through there very evenly, and the backpack is gonna work out very well. Okay, so let's go ahead and chain 1, and we're going to turn. And let me tell you what you're going to do for this. You are going to do the double stitch all the way around. I'm going to do the first opening or 2 and show you how you'll do this so that you can continue this all the way around. We're going to just start with our single crochet and then alternate double crochet, just like we've been doing all of these many rows, or rounds rather. And then we work single crochet here. Now when we get to the opening, just continue alternating. So I ended with a single crochet on that last stitch, so I put a double crochet and then a single crochet, put 2 stitches there, and then just keep the double stitch going. Then double crochet, single crochet, pulling through all the strands. I'll just do this next one just so there's no doubt. Single crochet, double crochet, and so we just keep alternating for the next two as we put those 2 stitches in that chain 2, double single crochet, and then a double crochet, and then continue on all the way around the backpack. So this is just reinforcing the openings that we have there. So go ahead and finish that round. Okay, we end this with a slip stitch to the first stitch of the round. I'm going to go ahead and turn, chain 2, and all you need to do now is work 3 more rounds working this double stitch all the way around. So go ahead and finish those 3 rounds and I'll show you where to go from there. Okay, here's the last join, and we join with a slip stitch. Now this is the last stitch, so we're going to go ahead and fasten off and give it a little tug. Go ahead and cut a generous at least 4 to 5 inches minimum to pull through there. I think mine's more like 6 or 7 inches here, and that just makes it easier to hide these loose strands, which I'm going to show you real quickly here. Go ahead and thread your yarn needle, and then I just run these down into the stitches below. You just want to make sure you hide these particularly well. Make sure you do it on the wrong side. And since we have used multiple colors, you're going to have multiple colored threads. And obviously, if you're hiding a green thread, stick to hiding it under only the green stitches, and the same with the white. If the white thread, you know, just want to hide them under similarly colored yarn. Okay, so these don't come out again. So I'm going to just run that down like that, and I'm going to cut it kind of close, but be careful that you don't cut the other threads. And I do have some more, as you can see, to hide. I'll do those in just a bit. And let's go ahead and take a look at our final product. Doesn't look like a backpack yet, but you'll get the idea. Okay, so we have from the bottom to the top and around the edge, we should have 4 of these holes or openings on each side. So I'm going to go ahead and put this aside and go ahead and start making our backpack strap. Okay, just as a review, I'm using this paracord. It's 100% nylon, and this is about the width. They do sell thinner cord, but I'd recommend the thicker cord. Let's see if I can get a measurement on this. It should be, let's see. Nope, I don't have a measurement as far as the thickness goes, but you can, you know, look at this and get an idea. They also, there's also available something called macrame cord or macrame hemp that you can also use. Let me show you this again. This is some macrame cotton. I've used this in another video for a backpack strap. I'm actually using the white because I think it's going to have a better contrast. It's going to pop better against the colors that I chose for my backpack. Okay, now we're ready to start crocheting our cord. I'm going to go ahead and leave about 12 inches to 14 inches, I'm guessing here, but I want to leave a nice long section so that I can attach beads when I'm finished. Okay, so let's go ahead and start with the slip knot. I am using a size N or 15, which is a 10.00 millimeter crochet hook. It doesn't really matter what size you use as long as it's comfortable for whatever material you are choosing to work with. This is not the easiest thing to crochet, but the nylon actually is a lot more forgiving than other materials. So now we're going to just crochet a chain, and we're going to crochet a chain that's going to be 60 inches long. So go ahead. I have to see, it's a little tricky pulling this stuff through, but go ahead and crochet a chain that's going to be 60 inches long. Okay, when measuring this, you want to get this till it's 60 inches long. And as you measure this, make sure that you are pulling this tightly. You don't want any slack to be in this, because if there's slack in the rope is actually going to be, or the back strap is going to be too long. Okay, so once you get this to 60 inches, go ahead and give this a tug. Go ahead and get a pair of scissors, and we're going to leave another long, at least 12 to 14 inches on this other end. So go ahead and give that a nice cut. Now, when we are completely finished with this, you may want to take a match to this if you're using nylon and just heat the end of this, and that'll keep these threads from unraveling. It will just melt it a little bit. But again, make sure you get your beads on before you do that, because otherwise you might not be able to get them back off. And go ahead and pull that through. Okay, now we have one backpack strap. Let me show you. Completed. And this is what it looks like. Okay, now you need to make another one that's exactly the same length. And when you measure them, make sure you're tugging them together so that they are the exact same length. So go ahead and make another one of those. Okay, now that we have our two backpack straps, and I've made sure that they are both the same exact length, we're ready to put them into our backpack. Okay, so here is our backpack, and I would start with this hole right here. It's the one furthest to the right or to your left, depending on which video you're watching. I'm going to kind of go in and out the window. We're going to go in this hole, and then we're going to come out the next. You can just pull some of that through, and do that again. Go in this hole, and then out this one. And so now we're going to just go ahead and pull a lot of this through. Okay, let's go ahead and separate my, okay, there we go. I'm going to go ahead and pull all but just a foot or so. That should be good. All the way through. Now we're going to go on the back side, and we're going to do the same thing. Okay, we're going to go in and then out. Pull it through. Be kind of gentle. I guess I wasn't so gentle. Kind of gently there, because you don't want to hurt anything. And then we go in, and then we come out the last hole, just like that. Okay, so we're about halfway through. Okay, now we're going to insert the second strap, and we're going to come to it on this side, come to it to the opposite side. I'm working from my left, or if you're watching the left-handed version, from the right side now. Come in this side, and then come back out. We're going to just mimic pretty much, it's kind of doing it the opposite, but we should be going in and out just the way the other strap did. Go in, and then come out. Okay, go ahead and pull a lot of that through until you have about a foot left on this side. Okay, now these are the other two straps from the other side, but this is the new one. We're just going to go in the next hole. Let's pull it on through. Okay. And then out, in, the other side. And then we have one more. And then we're going to go out this end. See how this is already fraying? I'm going to go ahead and use a match in just a minute and try to fix that. Okay, so we've done all that we need to do. And so if we grab each of the sets of straps on each side and we gently pull, the bag should close. And it should also open quite easily. And with these nylon straps, it's really nice because there's not a lot of resistance there. Okay, so now we need to take these straps, and don't worry if they're not, perfectly even at the moment, because they're real easy to rearrange. We're going to go ahead and take this here, and we're going to just tie a big knot like this, and try to get it at the edge of where the other slip knots were. Okay, and just pull it as tightly as you can. Okay, now we're going to run these. Let's go ahead and we're going to flip the bag to the back, because this is the section without the cable that's going to be against your back. And so what we're going to do is we're going to take another one of those big hooks again. Let me see, where did it go? Ah, found it. Nothing like losing the crochet hook that you need when you need it. So about a 1/2 inch on each side of this corner. But you go ahead and put the hook through. Just push it on through the stitches there. And we're going to pull both of these through. If they don't come through both at the same time, you can always just do one at a time. Okay, I was able to get them through. Now, there are 2 ways of finishing this. You can make a really big knot here, but I'm afraid that might actually pull through the stitching. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to tie a knot here. Just tie it on to the bottom of the bag. Okay, and give it a good tug. And I'm actually going to do that again. Make a nice square knot or slip knot here. Okay, and give it a good tug. Okay, so I don't think that's going to be going anywhere. And if there's any doubt, you can always try to do that again later. Okay, that should be good. Okay, so now see how much yarn or how much that took up as I've tied those knots. So make sure you leave yourself a lot of extra distance or a lot of extra material at the end of these straps. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and get my beads out, and I'm going to put half of these beads on one and half on the other. Let's see, I'm going to go ahead and divide up this on one side. It really doesn't matter how you organize them. And I'm going to have 5 on one and 4 on the other, it looks like. So let's go ahead. I'm just going to go ahead and string these. And these have such large openings, it's going to be very easy to string these beads. I'm finding that as I try to put the beads on, that these threads tend to fray a bit. So a little piece of Scotch tape can really make this work. Okay, a little bit of Scotch tape there. And this is going to go on much more easily now. Let's see. Let's put that on there. See how much easier that is? Wow, that really helped a lot. Okay, so I have these beads on the end, and I can take the tape off. And I'm going to give it a little knot. Let's go ahead and take that tape off. There we go. And then tie a nice knot at the bottom. And give it a good tug, especially if it's nylon, because you don't want that to unravel. Okay, so now that first little ending is finished. And so now let's go ahead and let's put some more tape on this end. I'll go ahead and finish these up, and then I'll show you what I have. Now that I've finished the beads on one end, I'm going to go ahead and bring the other 2 backpack straps, the ends, and I'm going to repeat just like I did. I'm going to tie this in a knot, and then I'm going to run it through from the back side to the front, using that crochet hook again, and then tie another knot, and then add the beads like I just did the first time. And then I'll show you what I have. Okay, now that I've put the beads on the ends, I just want to show you how adding just a little bit of heat to the end of this, just about like that. You don't have to burn it. It's just enough to melt those little fibers so they won't unravel. And here's a look at the final product. You can see the the beads on the end. And when you want to use this, if you can, one other thing, you can add a lining to the inside if you choose. I have another video on how to do that. I will be posting it separately, so just look for the lining for a backpack video, and it'll just show you an easy way you can make that. And so you want to give this a close, just pull it tight, and then these easily go over the shoulders. So that ends the tutorial for the big cable backpack. I hope you enjoyed that. Give that little subscribe button a hit if you haven't subscribed already, so you don't miss any of the new videos coming your way. God bless. Bye-bye.